that time, the Orion Hotline. Read the fucking rulebook and you'll be fine.
Hello and welcome back to your next favorite show, the Orion Hotline. I am your host, Dante Orion, where I answer any and all your manifesting questions and needs. As always, I will be using and referencing the rulebook, the reality rulebook, which is free, which will be in the description box below. It will also be put in the comments, so if you think I'm full of shit, you can read it there. And then you can brag to everyone how amazing and awesome and easy to understand the rulebook is. All right. Oh, also, membership videos down below, membership stuff down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, getting more of my shit, that's there. Feeling very festive today. All right. So today we have 2 emails, and this will be focusing mainly on the idea of it not working, bro. Things not being there, things not seemingly working out for you, even though you're doing everything right, which in actuality you're never doing something because you are the second you decide it, and it's the law of being. It's not the law of doing something to get. All right. So these emails, one is going to cover SP shit. Everyone is going to yawn and cry because no one likes talking about SP shit all the time. The second one will be discussing grades, and yeah, so we're going to jump right in. All right, email number 1. Hey Dante, I just watched your video and I had a question. So I understand most of it, and I feel like I stay in my desired state of being with my SP. I feel I do it so well but I keep looking for 3D for validation. However, at some point my ego does what you said and I redirect. How long does this loop go on before the consistency shows up in the 3D? I'm wanting my SP to reach out more often on their own, like they used to, so I'm holding off on reaching out first. I'm very good at visualizing. So yeah, I'd like to manifest him texting first and more communication. He's very flirty when I reach out first. I've manifested texts with other people, so I know it works with him, but it's harder to get him to reach out first. I have a great self-concept too, so where am I doing wrong? I have no idea. All right, so as always, what is your direct end? Whenever you decide something, right? You are being something, but you are creating an experience for you to experience. Or you're creating a version of yourself that experiences a certain thing, and this certain thing that is what we call your end, right? So for some people, it could be a relationship with this person. Marriage is the fucking famous one, right? Everyone wants to be married, even though they just met this person. But yeah, so if it's an SP, a specific person, maybe it's not romantic, but I mean, you said flirty, but if you're wanting a text, right? It's kind of insane to be just manifesting a text versus a direct end. So maybe you want a relationship with this person. Maybe you want to be exclusive with this person. Maybe you don't want to be exclusive with them. Maybe you want to have a fucking roster, fantasy football team of people that you want to have sex with. I don't judge. Hey, this is your life, your rules, quite literally your rules, and you live by the limitations of them. So when you say something like, how long does this loop go on for before consistency shows up? Or when you say, I keep looking for the 3D for validation, or I know it works, but with him it seems different, right? Those are all affirmations. Whenever you say something, whenever you think, feel, and identify's the big one, right? Because it doesn't matter if the thoughts or emotions come into your head, it's if you identify with them. So when you identify with something, you are saying that is true about you right now. So when you identify, that means that you're putting that as part of who you are. And when you are something, right, you experience more of you because reality gives you, it doesn't give you what you want. So when you say something like it works for other people, but it doesn't work for him, reality will continue to experience or give you that experience of you trying and doing a lot of things, but it never working out for you. And it will also show you more of it working with other people, but not this guy. And when it says you look for the 3D for validation, right, you are creating the construct of reality where you are then experiencing that. When you don't know yourself as all that is, when you don't know, pillar number 1, your self-concept as being all that is meaning like you run the show. When you make a decision, it must be that way, right? Because it's your experience, it's your reality, and when you decide something, that's it right now. You are going to that reality and you're experiencing it, right? Because whenever you do an imaginal act, you're not creating something, you're viewing something that's already created. We're never creating something, we're selecting it and then going to that construct of reality. So when you're saying things like you keep looking for the 3D for validation and you're experiencing this loop, how long does this loop go on for, bro? You're creating that loop, right? You said, I'm a person who experiences loops. I'm the person that questions loops, right? Because do you think like let's say you have a laptop or a fucking phone, right? You go, I saw a billboard for an iPhone today, right? That must mean my phone's coming, bro. I'm looking forward to receiving my phone. When does this loop come? When I stop seeing billboards and get my actual phone? No, you don't say that. You already have the phone. That thought never fucking comes into your mind, right? You would never, if you were married to someone, would you ever be like, he texts me one day, but then I don't see him, so like, no. You are that version of yourself, and you know yourself to be that. You don't think these thoughts, and you don't identify with the thoughts. So when you're thinking in like these loops, right? That's your old awareness going, gotcha, and then they bring you back to where you just were. So I'm holding off on reaching out first. Hold on. Reaching out more often, like on their own, like they used to. So like you experienced it before, you probably just didn't give a shit, right? Because you're saying that you have a high self-concept, whatever. It's only once you started giving a shit and like looking outside of you, or like you're looking like outside, as in this is going to validate me now, right? You're not validating yourself, you're not validating your own decisions, and that's why you're experiencing this hot and cold behavior. Because 1 second you don't give a shit, it comes in, and then you start giving a shit again, and then it goes away. So what you're doing wrong, right? Because you say you have a great self-concept, but what you're going wrong is, like you quite literally said it yourself, you keep looking for the 3D for validation, because your ego at some point does that, right? It keeps going, hey, you should check your phone, maybe he texted, or maybe she texted, right? So you go out there, you validate the old self, because then you go, he didn't text, or she didn't text, and then it's like you'll continue to experience that. But what I would do from your perspective, because right here you didn't say you didn't have like a desired end, right? You said I'm in a desired state of being with my SP. That doesn't say like you're committed, you're not together. You could be together right now, but like you want it to be exclusive. Like, choose a desired end with this person. Like, do marriage for all I care, but marriage is in my perception more difficult to materialize, because if you're not together, it's a lot harder, because you'll just get so much fucking proof of like you, and a lot of people can't stay in that state. What I would do is committed relationship first, or some sort of contact or relationship first, and you decide what that is. You decide that committed end, right? And then you stay there. You don't fucking wiffle waffle back and forth, right? You don't pancake. You're not flip floppity. So you stay in that end, and then you hype yourself up as to why they would even do this, right? Like, you're fucking addictive, you're magnetic, you're orgasmic to be around. Like, give out reasons. You don't fucking hyper focus on one you don't focus on the steps. You don't do middles. We don't fucking do middles, right? We go to the end. And why would this person be in this relationship with you, or why would they want to be, you know? So where you're going wrong is you're not decisive with what you want, right? And I can't decide that for you, and anybody, like, you have to decide your end, right? And then you have to give reasons to reality, right? 5-year-old reality. Reality is a fucking child that listens to you, because you're all that is. You're the fucking person running the show. And then the pillar number 2 is you describe exactly why they would think that way, why they think these thoughts. Because it's one thing to say they think this way, and then your old awareness, like, fucking, it's just chilling in the back, and it's going, yeah, this is who you were. So it's not congruent. So you have to choose the congruency, right? You have to choose the reasons why. So once you have that all in alignment, and you stop fucking giving a shit about what's happening outside of you, it comes in, and it's smooth, it's effortless. You're not fucking thinking. You're not looking at your phone every 5 seconds, right? So that's what you're doing wrong. Those are the fucking tips and tricks, bro. You're not ever doing something to get. You're doing something because that's who you are. Yeah, easy, effortless. All right, email number 2. Hey Dante, I have a few questions about grades. Ooh, interesting. Throughout my semester, I've tried to manifest good grades, but it never seemed to work, which resulted in me failing 2 of my exams, and now I'm failing the class. I really want to change my grade to pass the class, but if I was thinking about it, why would I want to settle for only passing 1 class when I could manifest having A's in all my classes? However, I don't know how to go about this, because what I've tried to do has seemed to never work, because it's always working. You got it. I know time doesn't matter, but I have a month or so before grades close, so I don't know how to go about it. Would love your help. All right. So I'm not sure if I got to you in time. Sorry. But time doesn't really matter. So what you have to decide... Sorry. That's my laundry, if you guys can fucking hear that. All right. Great. Same thing with a fucking SP, same thing with money, same thing with success, same thing with job opportunity, same thing with fucking anything, right? Why are you getting good grades? It's one thing to say you have good grades, right? But if you consider telling yourself and constantly told yourself all through fucking high school, middle school, college, right? It doesn't matter what you're affirming, right? Fucking passing the class. if you were never considered yourself like smart, or you never understood the material, or you always thought math was fucking hard, so of course it's gonna be hard, or you always thought that you weren't a good essay writer, so the fucking essays took forever to write, right? So you have to decide, again, you tell reality why the things they are. So you're a fucking super genius. You learn topics instantly. You have an eidetic fucking memory, right? You have to give the reasons why to reality. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting fucking instances of the old story, of the old awareness of who you once were being thrown back at you. So if you said, I passed all of my classes, yeah, or like, I got an A in this class, or I fucking aced this class, but always in the back of your mind, you always thought like math is hard, or I'm bad at statistics, or fucking calculus doesn't make any sense, or calculus is hard, right? I fucking got A's in engineering math without studying a whole lot, because I just knew that, like, oh my god, I understood it. This is before I fucking did manifesting, but that's besides the point. Anyways, you decide how things are, how reality views you, because it's who you are. So if you're getting A's in this class, why? Like, are you a super genius? Do you understand everything before the teacher fucking says it? You make Isaac Newton look like an idiot, right? You have to hype yourself up, because reality reflects who you are being and what you're telling yourself. And it doesn't matter how fucking outlandish it is, right? Go even crazier, because then those reflections must be proven back to you. So you have to hype yourself up. You have to understand yourself as all that is, the fucking one running the show, right? Because you're not doing a technique to get something. It's not some fucking fairy dust. It's not Santa giving you a spell, right? It's you. You are the one experiencing yourself. You're the one experiencing these outcomes, because it's reflective and it's congruent with the version of yourself who you are being. So if you want to pass these classes, or if you get all A's in classes, you have to decide yourself as fucking super intelligent, as of like, of course this class is a fucking cakewalk for me because I'm so smart, right? You have to give yourself the why, as opposed to just the direct end, right? Because it goes pillar 1, 2, 3, and 4. First one is knowing yourself as the reality, the source, God, the one with the creator, right? Because you're able to select different realities. You have the experience and the power to do that. The second one is deciding how things in your life run for you, right? So it could be school, it could be money, it could be success. You have to decide that for yourself, because otherwise you're using your old scripts and your old identity of who you are. Because it's one thing to choose a reality, right? Which is what you're doing, which you pass a class, but it didn't seem to work because you're being confronted with the old version of yourself and you haven't changed internally. It's like the same thing of being like, I have all this money, but you don't identify with that, right? Because you might come get the fucking money, or you might get the girlfriend or the lover, right? But then it fucking leaves as soon as it comes in, because it's not who you are, right? If someone identifies as poor, they will not sustain money. It will leave as soon as it comes in. Or the person who identifies as broken, or who identifies as like not good in love, they'll never experience the direct end, because it's not congruent with who they are. So for you didn't necessarily say exactly what you told yourself before, but I can assume that you viewed these classes as difficult. Maybe like you're not good at taking tests. Maybe you have trouble X, Y, and Z, right? It doesn't matter what exactly like happened. It's deciding who you are right now, so that this doesn't continue to happen, right? Because maybe like you fail this class and you have to retake it, right? But then you might experience the same thing again, because you haven't changed internally. So you have to change internally by deciding how these areas of your life work for you and how reality should view you. All right. So that's how you go about it. I know that helps. But yeah, it's always working, and it's if it ever seems that it's not working, right? That's the fucking trick of the old, right? When nothing is happening, everything is happening in your favor, and you have to remain in that version of yourself who is already experiencing that, because it doesn't make sense if you already have the fucking laptop, you have the phone, if you have the socks, right? We're going mundane here. Socks. You never think about, oh boy, I saw fucking shoes today, that must mean I'm getting my new pair of socks. You never think that. You fucking know you have it. You know that you're smart. Let's say you're already successful, you already have money. You never wonder if you're rich, or if you have the girlfriend, or you have a boyfriend. You're never wondering like, I can't wait for my boyfriend to come in today. You never think that. So it's always the version of yourself which materializes and creates and identifies. So if you're feeling jealous, or if you feel stuck, you don't identify it. A feeling is a feeling until you decide it's you, a part of you. So you always have the power in your mouth, the power of thought and the power of speech, right? To decide over it. And that's all you have to do. Manifesting means simplified. You don't have to fucking do jumping jacks. You don't have to do rain dances. I mean, you can if you want to, and if you give power to it. But it's always as simple as deciding who you are from moment to moment to moment in the ever-present moment of now. All right. I know that helps. It's always you. The technique is you. You don't need to fucking fold pieces of paper. It's just deciding. All right? Any questions on that? Read the reality rulebook below. Use code Orion 100% off. Had some questions about that. All right? Later, guys.